We in the United States are getting the government we definitely deserve, and a government that's at least extremely entertaining right now. So far, of the picks that Donald Trump has levied out over the weeks past his election, many of them are still controversial. Many of them still have to actually face some sort of firing squad as it is for confirmation, because you can't actually start confirming them until he's actually in office after the 20th of January. Only one person has fallen on his sword so far, being Matt Gaetz, which is way, way too much for anyone to handle. But right now, I have to say this with a straight face, and this is commentary here. I will get some actual facts out, but Kash Patel is being put up for director of FBI. I have to say it with a straight face. It is what's happening. Will he be confirmed? We'll get to that in the actual factual part. But let's let the robot editor who went through the news articles and gave us some facts speak first, and then I'll give some bit fractured commentary on Mr. Patel. President-elect Donald Trump's notification of Kash Patel as Director of Federal Bureau of Investigations, or FBI Director, has ignited a significant debate with concerns focusing on Patel's qualifications, perceived partisanship, and potential impact on the agency's independence, starting off with qualifications and experience. Critics argue that Patel lacks the extensive legal and management experience traditionally associated with the FBI director role. His career includes positions as a public defender, a federal prosecutor, and roles within the National Security Office and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. But detractors contend that his background may not be sufficiently enough to actually lead the FBI. Oh, by the way, to be the head of the FBI, the director, we have to fire the guy who has the job and the 10-year tenure, and he's not up to 10 years yet. He's also a Republican and appointed by a Republican with plenty of time on to kill, if I said how that set apart. Yet he technically can't be fired, or he should not be fired because he has plenty of tenure. But Kash Patel is loyal to Trump, so that may happen as well. There's also the perceived partisanship, which with a Republican FBI director, you'd think is already there, but not enough, apparently. Patel is recognized for his strong allegiance to Trump and his efforts to challenge the investigations into Russia interference in the 2016 election. History raises concerns about the ability to maintain the FBI's political neutrality. Former FBI Director Andrew McCabe expressed apprehension, stating that no part of the FBI's mission is safe when Kash Patel is in any position of leadership. Of course, McCabe may be a bit biased, but you get where that comes from. Also, the impact on FBI independence. The nomination of Patel prompted fears of eroding of FBI's autonomy. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan emphasized the importance of the FBI's remaining, quote, an independent institution insulated from politics, unquote, and underscores the potential risk of appointing a director perceived as politically motivated, which all of his picks are politically motivated. So there's that. Also, the whole confirmation part. The Senate has to confirm with a process expected to be pretty contentious for everybody who has to actually stand up for it, asking actual questions. Some Republican senators, such as Chuck Grassley, has expressed their reservations about Patel. He's a Republican. Quote, he must prove to Congress he will return and restore public trust to the FBI. Others, like Ted Cruz, support the nomination, advocating for significant changes within the agency. Now, that's where, your mileage may vary on what needs to be fixed, if there's a deep state, which Patel's out there to fix, per se, and what's going to happen going forward. Polarization all around. But one of the biggest things that now worries me a bit, not that I'm actually a big enough fish to look for, is we go back to Donald Trump says, I will be a retribution. And he's apparently going to actually do that by using some folks in direction. The Department of Justice with Matt Gaetz was going to be a armored retribution, that figuring that Department of Justice actually did investigate himself. So he dropped out of that before all the ugly got released in that one. But here with Kash Patel, he's basically said, eyes out, it's happening. He's going out after deep state folks, and especially media folks and media figures who have essentially been a part of the deep state, a very important part of the deep state, helping spread the lies and spreading these stuff against Donald Trump. Now, as a person who not quite deep state, but I do have to happen to follow those deep state folks he kind of points at, like MSNBC and CNN, my main source of news. It is a very strong warning to folks out there that actually they have taken up Some in, I guess, some way in sort of the just it's going to happen thing. Some in a joking sense. I watched Jessica Dean, who was a favorite here in Arkansas before she moved on to the national level, doing an interview with a comedian because it's Sunday night and it's filler time and it's Thanksgiving and all that stuff. And he's a guy who does the impressions, did the stuff. It did mostly Republican stuff, but did drop out the Kash Patel fact saying that he's going after the failing CNN and going after you guys. He dropped that in the thing. I think he did that with the Trump impression, maybe not the Patel impression. But it's something that's being said out loud by the people who would be targeted. And of course, being said out loud by the person who would do the targeting, that is Kash Patel. As I said, I'm not so worried about myself because I don't think I'm a big enough fish, but I'd like to be a big enough fish. So I wish I could be more worried about this. But essentially, Patel has called his shot and says the media, whatever you want to call the media, or the people in the media who are attacking Donald J. Trump and his presidency, and the fact that the last one he said he didn't lose, where he lost, are probably going to see some retribution coming their way as the FBI director for a lot of, let's just say, probes, if you will. Kash Patel. As I say this, there are many people that are nominated for the cabinet that are kind of, okay, I guess. There are many people that are nominated for the cabinet. I don't know who they are, but when you hear more about them saying, yeah, I guess because they're loyal. Kushner's dad going to France is kind of a cushy thing, so I can't really fight that one. But Kash Patel is one of the people I call, and I have called him for a while, just a complete political idiot. That's my opinion. I don't know him personally, but everything I see him done, it's like watching Mr. Bean go through and him getting promotions each and every time for just being just inept and not getting things done. But he loves him some Trump, and Trump loves him some him, so he may get a shot as director of FBI. Hopefully, they won't be raiding my house anytime soon. But what do you think about all the picks right now? As we said, everyone is still in a hot seat. The only person that's getting any heat right now is Hedgepeth, because his whole situation is getting even uglier. And of course, Matt Gaetz, who dropped out of contention. Tulsi Gabbard's getting a little bit of light, but people think she might actually pass with whatever. Dr. Oz is getting some winks. And of course, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a lot of people are waiting to hear what he has to say. I'm not waiting to hear what Kash Patel has to say, but he will say it when he goes before the Senate to get confirmed to see what happens. Are you thinking Kash Patel is a great pick, unlike me? Or do you think Kash Patel is better off on the sidelines doing MAGA hype stuff and not actually trying to do any work? Give me your comments in the feedback comment section of the video. Email me at theconversationinbox@gmail.com, or of course you can send it any other way you want to. Tweet me, you can thread me, Facebook me, do what you can to comment on this video and comment on this thought process. Is Kash Patel the man to take over the FBI and fix it? Because apparently the guy in charge right now ain't doing right, and right now conservatives aren't very happy with him, mostly because he worked in the Democratic administration, but that's a whole nother story. You tell me what you think, and we'll have an actual conversation on these things.